Sana Jumbo. Your turn. Jumbo, Sana Jumbo. Hello. You sing. Hello. Hello, everybody. Hello. Sing. Hello, everybody. Hello. Good singing. Jumbo. Your turn. Jumbo. Jumbo a toto, jumbo. Sing. Jumbo a toto, jumbo. I heard that. Hello. Hello. Hello, all the children. Hello. Sing. Hello, all the children. Hello. Beautiful. That's a welcoming song from Africa. And I just want to say, my name is Michel. Everybody say my name. Michel. Yes. And I bring stories to life through music. Because as a musician, everything I see, everything I hear, everything I read turns into music. And today we're going to read the story. Well, I'm going to tell the story of Abiyoyo. Everybody say his name. I go first, you repeat after me. Abiyoyo. You do it. Very good. You have to say it that way because he's a terrifying monster. Okay. Now, this wonderful book was written by Pete Seeger and Michael Hayes. And it tells a story of this little boy. Now, this little boy is a friend of mine. And he also told me this story. So the version I'm going to do is closer to his than theirs, right? And you may know this story, and you may have noticed that they never say the little boy's name in the story. Now that's because it's a secret. And when Sefu told me the story, he asked me, he said, Michel, he said to me, he said, Michel, please don't tell anybody that my name is Sefu, because I need it to be a secret. I want this story to be about the monster. So you're not going to hear his name from me. No, I will not reveal the secret. I think we're ready. Oh, no, we're not ready. First thing I have to check is to make sure that you can hear what's inside my head. All right? So I'm going to test you. I'm going to do something and you're going to repeat it after me. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3. You do it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You see that? Even counting turns into music. That was very good, by the way. All right, let me do something else. I have to check if your rhythm is good. If I go fast, you go fast. If I go slow, you go slow. If I go high, you go high. If I go low, you go low. All right? I think I'm going to use my body as an instrument. Okay, so let's see, where should I start? I'm going to start on my lap. You ready? I go first, you repeat after me. Boom, chicka, boom. You do it. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Your turn. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, laka, chicka, boom. You do it. Boom, chicka, laka, chicka, boom. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. Right here. This is nice and resonant. It's resonant. Whew. And if you play your chest, and you can puff it up and get even a different sound, it's just like playing a drum, right? All right, so here we go. I go first, you repeat after me. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, lugga, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, lugga, chicka, boom. Okay? Okay. All right. All right. Right here. Let's do high. Since this is our head, let's do high. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, lugga, chicka, boom. Boom, chicka, could do that, huh? All right, we're ready. Now, everybody, you can play your body, you can play your hands, you can play your chest lap, you can play with your feet, whatever you want. Or you can go get yourself an instrument. I'm going to play the djembe. This beautiful instrument was given to me by my friend Amos. And you see how they carve the center. It's made out of wood. And they carve the center so that it's hollow and that it resonates. There's that word again, resonant. And they pull the skin over the top of it. And then they pull it nice and tight with these strings. And that way you can get different sounds. You can get bass, 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 bass. Or you can get tone. Or you can get slap. You see all that? You could rewind if you want to check to do it all over again. I'll do it one more time for you. Bass, 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 bass. You see that? Cupped hands in the middle. I let it bounce. Tone, the same thing. I let it bounce, but I use this part of my hand. Tone, 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 tone. You do it. And slap, I don't let my hand bounce. My hand stays on the djembe. Slap, 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 slap. You do it. Good. But you don't have to play the djembe. You can play any instrument. In the book, the boy plays the ukulele. I have these great little wooden spoons. You see this? Wooden spoons. It's amazing. Who knew? But you could take anything. A container. I put some buttons in there. Anything that's hard, that's going to make a sound. Or even an empty container. Look, listen to this. I get different sounds by playing different parts of the drum, different parts of the lid. I can even make an instrument out of this. Toilet paper roll. Look at this. I put some tape, then I put something inside. What is that? I think it might be seeds or beans or rice or buttons or coins, all kinds of things. And I get different sounds with it. Toilet paper, who knew? But today I'm going to play the djembe and you're going to help me. So get yourself an instrument, and we're going to go through this story. This story of Abiyoyo. You say it. Abiyoyo. Once upon a time, there lived a little boy. A little boy who lived in a village. And he loved music so much that he would play all morning. You do it. Come on. Yeah, one more. Yeah. You're going to hear that cue a lot. Get it inside your head, inside your ear. You ready? All right. And so he would play all morning long. And then into the afternoon, he would play. You go, beep, 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 beep. Not only that, he would be so into it, he would keep going right into the evening. Like this. Beep, 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 beep. You do it. And sometimes he'd be so immersed, involved, soaking up all that music. He'd be so into it that he would play all night long. Well, you can imagine the people from the village would get tired of hearing music all night long when they're trying to sleep. And they would tell him, Sefu, stop that. Sefu, stop that. We're trying to sleep. Not only that, but the boy's father had a magic wand. Yes, he did. And he would make things disappear. Somebody would be drinking a glass of water because they were parched. They were thirsty. Parched. And they'd be drinking a glass of water, and along would come the father, and he would go, zoop, zoop. The water would disappear. People would get upset. Not only that, but somebody would be chopping. Whoop. They'd be chopping a big log, a big branch, a big something, piece of wood. And they were trying to build a house or a bridge, or I don't remember what it was. But they were trying to build something, and they were chopping this wood. You do it with me. Ready? Beep, beep, beep. And the father would come along with the magic wand, and he would go zoop, zoop, and the axe would disappear. Yes, the worst part of it was somebody be walking from a village far, far away, and they'd be walking all day long, and they would get to finally sit down on a comfortable chair like this one. It's so comfortable you can't believe it. And they would walk all day long because be about to sit down on their very comfortable chair, and the father would go up to the chair and he would go zoop, zoop, and the chair would disappear. Well, that was the final straw. People got so tired of this and so upset that they said to the father, you and your son out of the village. You must live outside the village. So Sefu and his father walked to the outside of the village, just the outskirts of the village, and they lived there. And at night, the father would tell Sefu legends, stories about the monsters that used to roam the earth. Monsters like Abiyoyo. You do it. Abiyoyo. That's right. And he would tell him about how Abiyoyo was taller than any tree. And not only that, Abiyoyo would shake the ground when he walked. You do it. The whole ground would shake when he walked. You do it with me. Come on. Not only that, but Abiyoyo was famished. He was hungry. He never stopped eating. And he would see a goat down there, all the way down on the ground. And he would grab the goat and he'd go, gulp. And he would see 2 sheep and he would go, gulp, gulp. You do it. Gulp, gulp. And he would be walking and he would see 3 zebras. He didn't care. He was insatiable. That means he's never satisfied. Insatiable. And he would grab the 3 zebras. Gulp, gulp, gulp. And he would see 4 elephants. Talk about insatiable. He would see 4 elephants. And he would go, gulp, 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 gulp. You do it. Gulp, 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 gulp. Swallow them whole. He didn't care. Now, everybody knew these stories were not true. How could they be true? It was so fantastic. Right? These legends. Nobody believed them. But the stories were very interesting and very colorful. Well, anyhow, Sefu, being a very creative and intelligent boy, was never scared by these stories. He would fall asleep and start dreaming, and he would come up with all kinds of solutions to get rid of the monster. He was very creative, and he trusted himself, so he was never afraid. And One night, he went to bed dreaming of Abiyoyo. And he was coming up with all these things that would help him vanquish the monster. And he fell asleep, slept all night long, like a baby. And in the morning, the sky was blood red, and the earth was shaking like this. You do it. And people ran to the window, and they looked out their windows, and they said, "It's Abiyoyo!" And they couldn't even see the sun because of the shadow that he was casting was so enormous. And Sephu and the father ran to the window also, and they looked out the window, and they said, "That is Abiyoyo." And the father said to Sephu, the boy, you didn't hear that from me, okay? And he said to his son, he said, "If only I could get him to lie down, I could make him disappear with my magic wand." Well, Sephu said to his father, "Come with me, father." And he brought his instrument. And they walked straight towards the legend, the Abiyoyo legend, the monster, I'm trying to say. And everybody was yelling, "Stop! Run for your lives! He will eat you alive!" And they didn't care. They walked straight towards him like this. Walk with me. And they stopped and looked at him, and he was still quite far away. He was so enormous that at first they thought he was closer than that. So they started again. Ready? Beep, 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 beep. Here we go. Well, they had only covered half the distance. They were half the distance to Abiyoyo. From their house to Abiyoyo, they had covered half the distance. So let's do it again. Ready? Beep, beep, beep. Here we go. Well, now they were quite close, and people were yelling, "Sephu, father," because that's what they called him. They said, "Don't go there. He will swallow you whole." They still cared about him, of course. But Sephu and the father were not afraid because they had a plan. And so they walked the final section towards Abiyoyo. You ready? Do it with me. Beep, 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 beep. And there they were, at the feet of this great big monster. And you wouldn't believe it. His feet were all green and horrible and moldy. They had mold growing in between the toes because he never washed his feet. I'm not talking about this here. This is toe cheese. I'm talking about mold. Okay? And then his knees were knobbly and full of warts and disgusting and terrifying. And not only that, but his stomach was huge, enormous, and it had hair on it. I can't even imagine what that's like. Hair on the front and hair on the back, and it was huge and hairy, and I don't know what that could be like. And then the hands were smelly, of course, because he never washed them. And the nails, he never cut his nails. And it was all black, and the nails were so long that it was curly. It was terrifying and scary and sharp and broken and ooh. And then not only that, but the most terrifying part was the head. The head, his teeth were all rotting, and he had halitosis. Bad breath, halitosis. And the hair was like a jungle with insects and worms and things and squishy things going inside of it and things flying in and things flying out, and it was terrifying. Well, the great big monster, Abiyoyo, looked down at Sephu and the father, the boy and the father, and said, I'm feeling a little peckish right now. A little hungry. And he was just about to reach down when Sephu started singing, Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. And the monster smiled because he had never about him before. So Sefu kept going. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. And the monster started to move a little bit, because you'd be surprised to hear this, but even for a terrible, horrible, legendary monster like this, he had quite a good beat in his feet, and he was quite a good dancer, and he kept a really good groove. Know what I mean? So he started to move his body a little bit, and the villagers saw this, and they wanted to join in, because they realized that if all of them do the same beat together, well, the monster won't be able to control himself, and he's going to start grooving and dancing. Okay? So they did it all together. They went like this. Well, let me do it. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. Did you notice? The first part of that song is divided into two, like this. You do it. Again. Your turn. And the second part of that song is divided into three, like this. You do it. Your turn. Oh, my turn. Your turn. And let's put it together. You ready? 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Now the three. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Uh-huh. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. And the monster started dancing and grooving, and Sefu saw this, and he started getting a little bit faster, and all the villagers made sure they were exactly with the beat that the boy was playing. You do it with me. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. And he was dancing faster and faster and faster. Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo. He started getting it hard. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. And he started sweating and getting dizzy, but Sefu did not stop. He kept going. Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. And the monster was dancing. Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo, Abiyoyo. And he fell to the ground because he got so dizzy from all that dancing and dancing fast. And the father ran up to the horrible feet with the mold in it. Not the Tuchis, the mold. And he went zoop, zoop. And the feet disappeared. And he ran up to the knees, the knobbly knees with the warts growing out of him. And he went zoop, zoop. And the knees disappeared. And he ran up to the stomach, the hairy stomach with the hair in the back and the hair in the front. And I can't even imagine what that's like. And he went zoop, zoop. And the stomach disappeared. And he ran up to the arms with the nails and the hands, and he never washed his hands, and he never cut his nails, and they're black and they're curly, and it was that. And he went zoop, zoop. And the hands disappeared. And he ran up to the head with the halitosis, the bad breath, you remember? The rotting teeth and the hair with the jungle inside and the growing things and the flying things and the squishy things, and it was horrible and terrible. And he went up to the head and he went zoop, zoop. And the head did not disappear. For a moment, Sefu was a little bit scared, but then he realized, let's get all the villagers to do this with us, and we will have more power in the magic. Because when we are together, we are more powerful than when we are apart. So he told the villagers, watch my father's magic wand. It goes up and it comes down, always at the same speed. If he goes up fast, he comes down fast. If he goes up slow, he comes down slow. And so they watched and they focused. And the father went up to the head again. And he went, zoop, zoop. And the head disappeared. And all the villagers came running from all directions. And they were so excited and relieved that they all started singing, Abiyoyo, 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 Abiyoyo. Song all day long into the evening. They didn't even eat. I don't quite understand it because I have to eat all the time, but they played all day long, all night long, and into the next day. And then the next day they said, Sefu. I mean, they said little boy, but they called him Sefu, but I'm never going to tell you his name. Anyways, they said to him, they said, Sefu, please, teach us more music. And he said, fine. And they went on like this. Do you want me to teach you another one? This one's easy, okay? This one, all you have to do is stop when I stop, all right? It goes like this. Ole, 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 si, ole, ho, wana, le, o. Hey, wana, eh, wana, wana, le, si, o. You see, when I go, lesio, that's when you stop. Should we try it again? Here we go. Ole, 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 si, ole, ho, wana, leo. Hey, wana, eh, wana, wana, lesio. Now let's do it inside our heads. Ready? Let's see if we can still be together and if you can hear the music inside my head and inside your head and they match up. Ready? Here we go. Isn't that amazing? We're connected. Let's do it. Now, let's alternate. That means we're going to sing it once, we're going to hear it once. We're going to sing it once, we're going to hear it once. Let's see if we can keep doing it. And we always try and stop together. Are you ready? Here's the cue. Here we go. Ole, 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 si, ole, oh, wana, leo. Hey, wana, eh, wana, wana, lesio. Ole, 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 si, ole, oh, wana, leo. Hey, wana, eh, wana, wana, lesio. Again. Ole, 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 si, ole, oh, wana, leo. Hey, wana, eh, wana, wana, lesio. Beautiful job. Great playing, everybody. And they played all day, all the next day, and the day after that, and it was one of the greatest festivals of all time. And they kept playing, but we're going to have to stop. But before I go, I want to do one final song together, just to make sure that we end on the right note, okay? Everybody, can you clap with me? I'm so glad I'm here. I'm so glad I'm here. You know that I'm so glad I'm here. Every day, I'm so glad I'm here. You know that I'm so glad I'm here. Yeah, so glad I'm here. Every day. Well, music brought me here. You know that's right. Music brought me here. Music brought me here. Every day. Well, music brought me here. You know that the music brought me here. Yeah. Music brought me here. Every day. Every day. Thank you, everybody. I will see you soon.